England footballer Marcus Rashford says he will never apologise for who he is after being subjected to racist abuse online for missing a penalty in Sunday's Euro 2020 final. He's taken to social media to say sorry, and he wishes it had gone differently. A mural of Marcus Rashford in his hometown was defaced following the game. Well, the BBC's Phil McCann is there to tell us how the community responded to that.
Look at how the community is responding. You can't see any of the abuse here, not just because it's been covered up in bin bags, but because they have been plastered over with, well, hundreds and hundreds of messages of support. This is South Manchester, Withington, the streets on which Marcus Rashford grew up. And it was just a few hours after that fateful penalty in the final on Sunday night that the abuse was scrawled on this wall here. This mural was put up to him late last year because he spearheaded a campaign for the children of people on lower incomes to get free school meals during school holidays across the UK. It was also abuse that Jadon Sancho and Bukayo Saka, his teammates, received online. And, well, you can see the outpouring of love for them here. In fact, all three of them, we love Rashford, Saka and Sancho. This one here, always our hero. And just over here, we've got these hearts here. Rashford for PM, Prime Minister. Marcus, you are adored by everyone. They really sum up the kind of messages here. Now, Marcus Rashford himself has said that what he's seen here in Withington brought him to tears, and on social media last night he wrote, "I'm Marcus Rashford, a 23-year-old black man from Withington and Wythenshawe in South Manchester. If I have nothing else, I have that."
Well, it's been just 2 days since England's Euro final defeat, and the row over the online abuse of some players has deepened. England defender Tyrone Mings has criticised the British Home Secretary, Priti Patel, for her response to racist abuse after she previously described taking the knee as gesture politics. Well, I'm joined now by our political correspondent Chris Mason, who is in Westminster for us. And Chris, thank you for joining us on BBC World. Let me ask you first of all, when it comes to politics, when we see particularly sports people getting involved, it seems always to have quite a big impact, doesn't it?
Yeah, undeniably, because here are people with their own stage, with their own platform, with their own audience. And when, as Tyrone Mings has done, you intervene in as direct, as public, as unequivocal a way as he has, then it's bound to command attention. Let's take a look at Tyrone Mings's tweet. It's worth looking at every single word of it, because he was responding to Priti Patel, the British Home Secretary, Interior Minister, condemning the racist abuse of some England players online after the penalty shootout the other night. Tyrone Mings wrote, "You don't get to stoke the fire at the beginning of the tournament by labelling our anti-racism message, i.e. taking the knee, as gesture politics, and then pretend to be disgusted when the very thing we're campaigning against happens." Clearly, he is boiling with anger at Priti Patel's remarks about taking the knee, that reference to it being gesture politics, but also when she was asked whether she would criticise those small number of England fans who were booing the taking of the knee, she said that is a choice for them, quite frankly. So she was presented with an opportunity to condemn, and she chose not to. And this is provoking a row within politics here at Westminster about this whole question of taking the knee. So Saeeda Varsi, Baroness Varsi, former chairman of the Conservative Party, saying directly to Priti Patel, we as a government and as Conservatives need to think about our role in feeding this culture in our country. If we whistle and the dog reacts, we can't be shocked if it barks and it bites. It's time to stop the culture wars that we are feeding division. Dog whistles win votes but destroy nations. So Saeeda Varsi there drawing a direct parallel between government rhetoric and the actions of individuals in racist abuse, which the government itself is condemning. And that's why Tyrone Mings sees, as he does, hypocrisy on the part of the British Home Secretary. We've approached Priti Patel for response. She has not responded directly to what the footballer has had to say.